I'm the Dollar Sportsman. Thank you for joining me today. I have got the Umarex Gauntlet. Not only do I have the Gauntlet, I've got the side lever Gauntlet. And we're going to be testing these and seeing if they are an effective bench rest gun. So this is going to be fun. Guys, a very special thank you to Xans for sponsoring our channel. I have got their 30 cal pellets today. Now I'm going to be testing several different kinds of pellets, but we appreciate them. I particularly love their slugs, and the 30 cal pellets seem to work pretty dang well out of my bolt action gauntlet here. So link below if you need some. Did you know that I'm looking into the sun? Can you tell? All right, so I have got the Gauntlet 30, and a good friend of mine was asking me recently, do you think this would be good for bench rest? And the answer was, I don't know. We should find out. So that's what we're doing today. I am out here with 100 yards. I've got an FX competition bench rest target set up, and we're gonna try a bunch of different pellets. So I have got the Xans, of course, 30 grains. AEA was also nice enough to send me several different kinds of pellets. I didn't expect it, but I appreciate it. We've also got the standard JSBs, 30 cal in both 44.75 grain and 50.15 grain. I also have the Hades pellets, just to see. Now, Hades pellets are 44 grain pellets in general, out of the Gauntlet, factory stock. I haven't done a single thing to either of these, the bolt action or the side lever. They go around 1,013 feet per second, which is extremely fast for a pellet. And at long distances, there's going to be instability there. So I don't believe that the 44 grains will perform that well. I believe that we're going to need heavier slugs to slow it down and get that consistency that we're looking for. Now, of course, this is stock. You can adjust this. You can tune down, tune up, whatever you need to. I don't think I'd recommend tuning up. But you can turn down. There's a hammer adjustment right in the back here, and that'll allow you to do whatever you need to do to tweak it down a little bit and get better consistent speeds for the pellets. But just going stock, we're gonna see what happens to the target down range and if anything bears any sort of accuracy. Ready? Let's do it. Pause. First of all, thank you for watching. A couple of things that I failed to explain in bench rest competition. There are a few things that you would normally do. A is that you would weigh your pellets. At least a lot of professional competitors do. I did not do that in this video. And B, when you're actually shooting in a bench rest competition, you're going to have a wind flag, or at least you should have a wind flag, to tell exactly what's going on at range. So what I didn't know until I walked up to my target after shooting this video is that the wind was quite different 100 yards away into the canyon that I was shooting in. So you're going to see a little bit of that when we go through the video. Now, I'm going to comment through and I'm going to explain what's happening with pellets, with some of the weird things that I saw and the good things that I saw. So back to the video. Let's do it. All right, we're going to start with the sighter down here. And first shot is a little bit high there. But as we get going, these are the 56 grain Xans, and I start to see a pretty consistent group on the sighter. Now, when you're shooting, you're supposed to be trying to hit that dead center shot. I wasn't, and I don't do that in most of this video. There's one point that I do. Here, I'm just trying to get groups and see what's going to group best. I'm not considering wind or anything. Now I'm getting a pretty good group with the 56 grain Xans out of the side lever. And then in a second, I'm going to go to the Hades just for fun on that bottom left target. But my camera is going to stop working because it filled up on the memory card. So here we go. I start to go for those. The left and let me tell you right now, the Hades did not work well. 44 grain. 44.75 grain. Oh shoot, no space on the memory card. Hold on. All right, we've got the 44.75 grain 35 cal pellets now. All right, now we're going into the lighter bottom right target. And those aren't going to go great either. It starts off well, but then we start to see changes. And I can't tell if it's the wind or if it's bounce on the gun.
but you can see that it's
Yoink
just
to that
not
one.
consistent enough. And that's going to be the theme for the next several groups.
Wow, a couple of really bad flyers there. Now the 50 grain domed. All right, we're just gonna work our way up left to right. So second row left side.
And it's hitting all over the place. It's going to start hitting far to the right here. I mean, it's really bad. The lightweight pellets just don't work out of a stock gauntlet. If you turn down the hammer, then they probably would. But in this case, I'm going above 1,000 feet per second. And for precision, that's just not going to fly. No pun intended. I even tried taking the moderator off here just to see if I was clipping. It wasn't. I just have a few loud shots that have no accuracy. Still aiming for the left target, and I'm going all over the place.
Okay, we'll try these 30 cal, 50 grain AEAs. All right, I'm gonna go for the next level up here. Dang. Struggle bus.
Okay, you can see we're off the target here, but we start to make a consistent
we're getting
group,
a group,
and
though.
these are with the AEA 50 grains out of the side lever. Now, because of the grouping, now I can start to take into consideration hitting that bullseye.
Okay, that's the best one that we've got. So now that we know where it's grouping, let's try to actually hit the target. There we go.
See, now we're consistently getting somewhere. I have a couple of flyers. That could be because of a slight difference in the weight or a slight difference in the wind in that moment. But the consistency is actually really good out of this with these 50.5 grain AEA pellets.
Okay, I pulled a couple there. Not bad. Not bad, though. Okay. Tethered at 3,800. All right, we're gonna try these 50 grainers, the AEAs, out of the bolt action. Gonna aim for that second to top right target. Went a little early on that one. Dang.
Now you see we get a couple of different groups. They're pretty consistent, so that could have been the wind or a variation in the pellet weight. Or the hammer is just pretty dang powerful here. I could be getting some bounce by using a tripod.
Interesting.
Now, Noor, what do you mean by bounce using a tripod? I misspoke. Bipod. I have a bipod on the front of the gauntlet there. And what I could see pretty consistently in my shooting is that I did have a bounce when I shot. It's called hammer bounce. When a hammer is very powerful, such as it is in the Gauntlet 30, you can see that happen. Now, I've taken 174-yard shots off of a bag with the Gauntlet and had a 1-inch group. So that tells me that there could be some bounce going on here. Now, I just installed that Picatinny rail on the bottom so I could put the bipod for this video. I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to go back to the bag, because I didn't experience that sort of bounce when I was using the bag.
I'm gonna try the Xans because in the past I've had extremely good luck with the Xans. Okay, top right with the Xan.
Okay, once again, we're gonna see kind of two different groups going on here. Pretty good consistency, except for the fact that we have the two groups. Now that, again, could be the bounce, or it could be the pellets, or it could be a shift in the wind in that moment downrange. Not sure.
And then just for fun, we'll try the 44.75 grain Diabolos with the bolt. Now the last remaining target.
Friends don't let friends use lightweight pellets at long distances.
Going dead on. I was holding on that one
per second, that is. Just keep that in mind as we see what happens here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just mixing in now. Cool. Okay, you can see, except for a couple of flyers, we started out okay with the cider. And then as we started to go up, you can see we're trying different grains. Started off with the Hades over here. They actually didn't do too poorly. Let me adjust here. You can see that group is, except for the flyer down below, that's a 1.5 inch group, so 1.5 MOA, but the flyer brought it higher, obviously. So then we come over here, we had the Xans. They did not do as well in this case. I had a couple of good ones, but then the next 3 were high. That could be wind, that could be anything, not sure. But as we continued, we really struggled with the JSB. They just did not like this at all, and it didn't seem like it was doing very good. We were all over these 4 targets here. I was aiming for the left targets, and I was getting the right target hits. You see that? So I don't know if that was a problem with my gun, the scope, who knows? But you can see that there were serious problems there. Now finally, now this is all the side lever, right? With the 50 grain AEAs, we actually got a really good group. And I think here, there's one shot in here that doesn't belong that I took in a future set. But 5 shots that actually did quite well. You can see they were all right, they were all right around here. This may have been the extra shot that I took, I can't remember. But most of these are pretty close, and with some extra wind calls or what have you, maybe a little bit of detuning, I think that could do quite well. So then we brought the bolt action out, and I used the AEA 50 grains again. Here we had 2 shots touching each other, and then 3 a little bit higher. So I'm not sure why we had 2 groups there. But then we tried the Xans out of the bolt action, and you can see once again we've got one that's out, but here that's about 1.5 inches again with these 4, and then we've got this flyer out here. Why that happens, I don't know. So not too bad. We still need to work on it a bit though. And then we tried the 44 grains out of the bolt action. They were all over the place. They were coming down into this group that I had fired previously. Yeah, it didn't work very well. So you have to have heavy slugs. You've just got to figure out which ones work best. The AEAs worked pretty well, and the Xans out of the bolt action worked pretty well. But you can see it kind of depends. The AEA grouping here is kind of similar to this. But not terrible. Again, the wind is a little bit gusty right here in the canyon where I'm at. You can see, if my lighting will cooperate, we've got a little bit of a canyon here, and it does have an impact on the wind as it's coming down. Right now it's coming off of this hill.
Okay, the moral of this story is that, are you going to compete with a stock gauntlet out of the box? No. Because you're going to, you're going to detune that hammer so that you're going around 900 feet per second. Now you can change the speed based on your specific gauntlet, but you're going to want to check that and tighten up those groups. For me, stock gauntlet, 2 of them out of the box, they did pretty good, but I wasn't trying to shoot for wind or anything. I didn't have a wind flag. Probably should have been shooting off of a bag, and you could see the results. I have gotten a 1-inch group at 174 yards before shooting off of a bag, so I know that it can be done, but in this case with the bipod, the bounce and the wind, I wasn't doing it. I'm not going to win any competitions with that stock. Now, if you go weigh your pellets, yes, absolutely. You can use this, and it is a budget-friendly option for you to go and compete. Now, me personally, I do have higher-end rigs, and I use those rigs for competition. Now, I have also used those rigs in competition and totally sucked. I'm not a great Benchrest shooter. I shoot steel. Speaking of which, we're going to do this as a part 2. We do have steel tests for both speed and precision, like PRS, NRL 22 style shooting. That's coming up on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and a very special thank you to Umarex for sponsoring this video, making it possible with the gun and the supplies, etc., because we really appreciate them doing it. Now, yes, I am sponsored to make this video, but I'm showing you the exact direct results and being very honest about it. The precision of this gun excellent. But at 100 yards for a precision competition, stock, I don't see it happening. If you adjust it though, it can be done. And I've actually been beaten by gauntlets before on the Benchrest competition at RMAC because, like I said, I'm not a Benchrest shooter, and they were. And they had a great time with their gauntlet out there. So I'm sitting here editing videos today on a Saturday. This video is probably long enough for you anyway. So we're going to cut it into 2 parts. Be looking for that. I'm the Dollar Sportsman.